Okay, guys, well, we just got started recording, and we're kind of just going to throw somebody on a spotlight here, and we just like to welcome new coaches and just get to hear, everybody's voice. So if we call on you for this little coach spotlight, don't be nervous, just introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your coaching journey so far, super quick, nothing crazy. And I think I'm going to spotlight Malia. Oh, sorry. Unmute yourself, girl.
Yeah, there we go. I muted me because I thought you wouldn't call on me. So my coach journey, my sister invited me to one of the free accountability fitness groups and doing the 21-day fix. Actually, no, that one was just a general one, and I really liked it. Then we did the 21-day fix for, I think it was a bikini competition. I think you and Shalane were doing together. And I started losing weight, hadn't had success losing weight in a very long time. So I've just kind of jumped on the bandwagon from there and wanted to help out other people who hopefully would have success like me. And so that was earlier in the year. And I became a foster mom during that time and have had 3 kids, one of which we got to adopt. One of which left already and one that's leaving soon. So life has been a little crazy, but I've still been able to lose weight during that time. And now that I've got some stability, I'm really trying to focus in on the coaching part of this journey and just build a business so I can be a stay-at-home mom and maintain that.
Thank you, Malia. Yeah, I love your story and I love following you. Anybody who's not already following her, you should. She's super inspirational. I still remember the first group you were in. You were like, wait, I have to take a before picture, and you stood on the top of your bathtub and you're like, this is the only place that I have a mirror, and it was like you were straddling the bathtub. It was awesome. And then your after photo was the same way, but it was a huge transformation. It was awesome. And yeah, she became a mom overnight, almost of twins, and like kids. A few of them have been in and out of her house. So she's obviously got a huge heart, her and her husband. I really look up to her. But so anyways, just, people come from all over at all different stages of life. And we just kind of wanted to highlight somebody. So I like this randomness. So Teresa, maybe we'll just keep doing this. Yeah. Okay, tonight we're going to be talking just about 2 different things. We were going to make it on organizational stuff because I feel like as Beachbody coaches, we're a little bit all over the place. We all have a lot of open tabs in our mind, and it's hard to know where to keep it all. But honestly, I was looking around at my desk, and I just feel like a hot mess right now, and I would feel very hypocritical just, talking about it because I'm just putting a focus on learning more about what other top coaches do. I have a couple things in mind, but I just didn't feel like I had all my ish together to explain it to you guys tonight. But we've got something for you. So Teresa is going to be talking part of that about tracking customers and the importance of that. And then I'm going to go into the law of environment. So Teresa, I'm going to let you go ahead and start.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about this tonight because I feel like a lot of my inspiration for what I want to talk to you guys about comes from my own failure. And there's a lot of it. So I feel like I have endless material to talk to you guys about. But it's kind of learning from that failure and figuring out how to make it work for you. So I always hear coaches, especially top coaches, talk about tracking. You got to track who you're talking to, track your customers. And I've always wanted to do it. But again, this kind of goes back to the whole organization thing, that I'm not the most organized person. Like I'm probably the least organized person out there. So it's just never, I would kind of scroll through my Facebook or scroll through my Instagram or through my past messages in Facebook and would never really write down my potential coaches or my potential customers. And recently, because I'm trying to up my productivity every month, I want to do more than what I've been doing. And I haven't been able to kind of tackle that. Like I feel like I have my set number that I hit every month and I want to up that. I want to do more. And so I couldn't really figure out where I was lacking. So I kind of started going over to Instagram, and I had been hesitant on going to Instagram for so long because I just felt like I was wasting my time over there. Like I didn't really understand how to use it. But so many coaches are building their businesses over there, especially because it's a lot easier to connect with people on Instagram than it is, I think, on Facebook. So it's not necessarily as private. You can follow somebody and kind of start commenting without them having to accept you unless, their account is private. But there's so many accounts that aren't. that I feel like it's just, you can cast your net wider, you know? And so I really wanted to tackle Instagram. So I followed, Jen Richardson is a friend of mine, and she built her business solely on Instagram. She doesn't even market on Facebook. And so I kind of picked her brain a little bit. She had posted some videos, and what she was saying is that for her, it's tracking. Number one, it's getting your customer or getting those people to start following you. And there's different apps and things that you can do to get people to follow you, but that's a different call, you know. But once you start getting those people, there's, you know, if you're adding 10, 15, 20, 100, 200 people to your Instagram account every couple of weeks, you're going to be scrolling through that feed endlessly. And so it's, again, back to what I was feeling, that whole wasting time. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know who these people were, or, you know, what to comment on their photos. And so what she had mentioned to me, and I started doing, was personally, so I like doing it on my iPhone, because with the iPhone, you can have that Google Docs app, and you can have kind of both screens open. You just kind of double click and to go back and forth between both screens. And I like it because I don't always have to have my notebook and my pen with me. So it makes it really, really easy to go into Instagram and then just click over and then go into your Google Docs. So there was an app that I downloaded, and it's called Crowdfire. Yeah, Crowdfire. And it's a really easy Instagram tracking app where it lets you see not only, you know, who you're following, who's not following you back, so you can kind of control, you know, the population evenly, because you don't want to be following a ton of people, you know, when you want to keep that number down. But they have this really cool feature where you can go in and you can just follow a ton of people on a specific account. So if there's something that a specific account that you love that has tons of followers, like whether it's homeschooling or, you know, wine or vacations, or, you know, whatever it might be, boy mom, or, you know, foster moms, or what, like whatever account that you follow that has a ton of people, you can type in the name of that account and it pulls up all their followers. Now you can go through and click follow on all of those people. And so when you do that, now there's a limit unless you pay for it, but you can add all these followers every single hour. So I started going in and kind of, there are some coaches that would go in just kind of like randomly hit all of them. I didn't do that because I don't want, you know, there's some spam accounts in there. There's some young kids in there. So I kind of went through and I just glanced at their profile picture. And if it looks like we have something in common, then I click follow. And I would go through. And so in 1 week, I added 200 followers to my Instagram account just using that app. So you still have the ability to personalize and individualize it, but adding 200 people to your account in a week, my Instagram feed just got ridiculous. So what I did was I went back and I looked through the names of everybody that started following me, and I just started writing their names down in a Google spreadsheet. Then right next to it, I put what I liked about them, so that when I went to their account, it would jog my memory as to why I followed them back. Now I know they're following me, but when you go through your feed, it tells you everybody that you follow, but it doesn't tell you, you know, who's following you back. Okay. So when you're tracking it, you can, okay, I'm following them, they're following me. And why am I following them? So I would just put a little thing next to it that says, this is what interested me about their account. And so when I go in Instagram at night, and now it's time to start reconnecting. And so what Jen was telling me that she started doing was, you have this list and you have this massive list, and you start accumulating all these new followers. Every night you take 10, 15, 20, 30 of them, however many, you know, you have for that time, and you go specifically to their accounts. Don't even go to your news feed, because you're going to waste so much time over there. And you go specifically to their accounts and you look at, okay, why did I like them? Okay, go and see if they have any new photos. Like, comment on the photos, go back to your Google Doc, move on to the next one. The following night, take another 30, do the same thing. Go in, comment, like on their photos, whatever. Do that for 1 to 2 weeks, you know, and then ask yourself, and then you get to the point, same thing like on Facebook, where you're going to send them that message and say, you know, hey, I've got this, you know, whatever, however your message is. But she said, ask yourself this question before you message them. Do they know my name? Like, if I message them, are they going to know who I am? So have I commented on their account? Have we had an interchange of conversation? So she said, just because I've kind of started messaging people, or not messaging, liking and commenting, if they're not super engaging and they never respond to her comments, or they don't, then that's not somebody that she's going to message right at that point. So that's another something that you can track. You know, like, a little box next to it that says, you know, have we engaged? Have they responded back? Yes or no? So now, like, it's the end of the week, you have followed and commented and liked on 30 to 40 people every night. Now you're going to go back through that list and say, okay, this person engaged really well. This person engaged really well. And you can go back to that account and it jogs your memory. And you can say, okay, you know what? I've had a nice conversation with this person. We have a lot in common. Now is the time to send a message. So with me, I felt like after October, I dried up so much on prospects between my account, my husband's account, and like everything that we were doing. So I'm like, I need to get out there. I need to expand a wider net. I need to kind of cast out there. And so through the tracking, I'm not necessarily, I don't feel like I have a ton of people that I can message at this moment, but I've got a lot of prospects now. People that are starting to engage with me, people that I'm making little notes on, you know, this person loves this and this one loves that. And so we're kind of starting to have these conversations that I feel like, you know, in a short amount of time, like I'll be able to send out all of these messages. And I don't know if you guys know, but like she adds, I think a minimum of 10 coaches a month was her goal. And she hit 15-star diamond in 2 years. So I kind of feel like if that's where I want to go. And since I've started doing that, I've kind of started noticing a trend or something happening, you know, with my prospects and the people that I have that I can talk to or that I can reach out to. And I started doing this on Facebook as well. I told Melissa last month, I had over 40 something people. I think it was like 46 people who were interested in programs and never did anything with it. 46 people. I'm like, that's huge. And so I messaged all of them again and just started re-engaging. Like, let's get into a free group. Let's start. That's a whole pipeline of people that had I been tracking that, and some of them were over a year old. So had I been tracking that and keeping their names down on that piece of paper, you know, maybe I could have started this process of reconnecting with them 5 months ago, and then they would have been customers now, you know, but better late than never. So I've just recently started to see the importance of tracking, especially with coaching prospects. And just because, you know, somebody may have been interested 6 months ago, but they're not interested now, or opposite. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. So, but maybe at some point they are going to be interested. You can still, you know, follow up with them. And the same thing, I found like 3 or 4 people who were interested in coaching that were in a Glance Into Coaching group and just never responded, never did anything. And so, you know, it's time to start reconnecting with those people. So I feel like there's so much, you know, there's so much to be found in tracking. And I really kind of like the momentum that it's building. So that's what I wanted to share. Like, find whatever works for you, whether it's pen and paper or an app, or I like the idea of having it on my phone because I can do that anywhere. If I'm out at night and I have some time to kill, it's just something that I can just start going on Instagram, but not wandering aimlessly through Instagram. I have like a purpose and I can get in and out in 15 minutes and connect with like 15 to 20 different people if you have like a set game plan, you know? And I used to feel lost. Like I would just scroll through and I don't know who this person is, or, you know, so it just makes me feel like I'm actually doing something and working with them there and just not wasting my time, you know? So I wanted to share that with you guys, but okay, I'm good.
Thank you, Teresa. That's awesome. And thank you for sharing the Crowdfire thing. And yes, totally agree with everything she said about tracking. And, you know, just like she said, 46 people that she had missed out on. Like, we're telling you this because we've been coaches for a while. If you're a brand new coach, you may think that you know everyone that you're talking to right now in your head, but I promise you 6 months down the road, you're going to forget people. Like, they just come and go. And sometimes somebody will just message you and it's not really leading towards them being in a group, but they were still interested. Still write their name down because they reached out to you because they feel comfortable with you. So tracking them is super duper important. And like she said, I love the Google Sheets. I pretty much, you know, if you went through the Like a Boss training, we had you sign up for the Google Doc with the Gmail. So hopefully all of you guys know how to use, you know, the docs. But, you know, I'm a pen and paper girl for certain things like my calendar and stuff, but I'm finding it extremely helpful to have the Google Sheets because it's on my iPhone, it's on my iPad, it's on my computer, it's everywhere I go. So anyways, if you don't have Google Sheets yet, definitely set one up and just label it Instagram Tracker and go down. And there are apps that you can figure out, like, you know, if they unfollow you or if you're following somebody and they're not following you back. Mine is called, where'd it go? Get Followers. And another one is just called Insta Followers. And that's a tracking system. And, sometimes it hurts, whatever, if people unfollow you or block you, but typically they're just like, it works people, so that they just don't want to, I shouldn't blame them, but you know what I mean. Sorry, what was I saying? You get unfollowed. It's not a big deal. So if I see that somebody unfollowed me, I'm going to go unfollow them. I don't want them taking up space in my scrolling feed, So like Tressa said, you can get lost scrolling, and having a system makes it super easy. Were you raising your hand, Nikki? No? Okay. So I'm going to totally switch gears here and just kind of go into something. I was riding in the car today listening to John C. Maxwell, and some of you may have heard this before. It's his law of environment, but sometimes it's nice to hear it again. And this can be applicable to Beachbody. It can be applicable to your job that you're, if you have a second job. But, Beachbody coaches are all about John C. Maxwell, and he's all about growth, and he kind of coined the term failing forward. So if you haven't read any of his books yet and you're looking for a personal development book, definitely get on him. 15 Laws of Irrefutable Growth or something like that. They're weird titles, but they're all, just Google search him, and he's got a lot of stuff. But I was relating to him because he was talking about being put in an environment. And you have to look at, who you surround yourself with. Obviously, we've all heard the thing, you become like the people you spend the most time with, the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely. But it's not only the people, it's in your environment, in your mentality. I'm sure a lot of us grew up, in households that it's okay to just make your income, pay your bills, and that's it, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, but, most of us here, maybe we desire more, or we want to give back more, or we want something more. And it's not a selfish thing. It's because we desire to make an impact in the world. Like, even though maybe, me and Tressa or anybody on here has already reached, their certain initial goal that we wanted, we can't stop now because we have all of you that we want. It's an impact. It's a whole community of stuff. Like, we're not, imagine that. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to think about if we would stop. And we wouldn't, and it's because of the environment we put ourselves in. We're always in an environment to grow. And as I go through his list of, he calls it the My Growth environment, Beachbody knocks off every single one of these, and it's why I love this company so much. Yeah, sometimes they delay our orders. Yeah, sometimes customer service sucks, but as a whole, the company is amazing. And every level that you are a coach, whatever level you are, there's always somebody above you. There's always room for improvement, a growing experience. It doesn't matter top coaches. Everybody's learning from, somebody else. And it doesn't even need to be Beachbody. You need to be in an environment where you're growing just inside and out, okay? So just want to write these down. I'm going to read them off to you and ask yourself if your environment, whether at home, at work, in your challenge groups, all that stuff is meeting all of these. So, are others ahead of you? Are others ahead of you? Am I continually challenged? Sorry, my tongue just got tied there. Are you continuously challenged? Is my focus forward? Am I getting out of my comfort zone? Is my atmosphere affirming? If I'm not going too fast, if you guys are writing these down. Am I failing forward? So you're not afraid to fail. It's gonna happen. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna put up a bad post. You're gonna do an awesome invite collage that you just spent 30 minutes creating, thinking about that post, and your mom and your sister liked it. It happens. Don't worry about it. Maybe you posted at a bad time. You're failing forward here. Am I excited to wake up? Are you excited to wake up and do your job? That's huge. Are others growing around you? That's why Thursdays are so awesome. When we wake up in the morning and we see all these announcements and stuff, and, maybe you're not the one growing, but there's something to be said. If others around you are growing, you're in a growing environment, a conducive environment. So there is room for growth there. And then, is growth modeled and expected? Are others above you doing what they're asking you to do? And do you expect them to do it? So, I don't know if your mind goes automatically to Beachbody, if your mind goes automatically to your other job, but you should be in a growing environment where all of these things are happening. And January is a huge month. We have the New Leaders Conference coming up, and I'm really just excited. Me, Jennifer, and Teresa are all getting to go to that, and we just want to bring all that information back to you, and we need to become better leaders for you guys, and we're excited about it, and it's exciting for us to put ourselves in that kind of situation, in that growing environment, to go listen and get tips from top coaches, and everything that we learn, we're going to bring it back and give it to you. But Beachbody, we have an amazing tool. It's called YouTube and the internet, and you have access to always growing. Okay, it's out there. You just got to find it and go with it. And one of the things that I love that John C. Maxwell said was you have to change yourself and your environment. If you're looking to grow, if you're looking to better yourself, if you just change yourself and not your environment, you'll still grow a little faster. You'll still grow. If you change just your environment into a more positive environment, but you stay the same, you're going to grow a little bit because you're going to be impacted, but you're not going to grow as fast as you want. If you're ready to change, if you're ready to make a big impact, if you're ready to grow big, you have to change yourself and your environment. I'm not saying leave Beachbody and go do something. I'm saying dig into these trainings and go all in. I'm saying, put yourself in an awesome challenge group, team up with people, sign up for new trainings anytime we have those push to diamond stuff, and all that kind of stuff. Just putting yourself in a situation where you can grow more. And right now, we always have something to look forward to. Our company is very strategic about quarterly having things to look forward to, incentives. Every month they give us prizes and stuff like that. Well, right now we have Super Saturday coming up on the 9th. January 9th. Doesn't matter where you are, there should be one within driving distance to you. And you might be putting yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone, inviting people to those. If you want to grow your team, make it your goal not to go to that thing by yourself. You invite people to go with you. It's literally a really good recruiting place, because they don't come and just talk about Beachbody. They talk about how lives are changed. They talk about inspirational speakers, and it's amazing. It's a little summit, we call it, but it has a very big impact. So if there's somebody in your community, local-wise, and make it your goal to bring 2 people to that event, okay? It doesn't even matter if it's your husband. Maybe your husband hasn't gotten on board yet. Bring him to that, Your mom, anybody is going to be inspired by that. It's not Beachbody's crap thrown down your face if anybody has never been to one. It's very empowering and inspirational, and you work out together. So if you're not signed up for a Beachbody Super Saturday yet, get signed up. Sometimes they're on Friday or Sunday. It just depends. And I totally understand people have stuff going on, but if you have something on your schedule where you can shift it around and make it work, you need to be there, okay? Even if it means driving an hour, 2 hours, make it happen. Get a babysitters, bring a baby, whatever. I don't know my situation yet, but I know I'm going to the one in Dallas, so hopefully I see some people there. Let's see. And then obviously Summit, if you haven't registered for Summit, get on that wait list, because when it comes available, and they will, they need to track how many people want to be there so that they can organize, rooms and stuff like that. So I guarantee I shouldn't guarantee, but I'm pretty sure if you're on the wait list, then eventually you're going to get called. So that is that's signing up for a very big growing environment there. Okay, if you're like, I can't make that happen, or whatever the reason, or if you want something now, look into some kind of motivational thing in your area, like the top speakers. We always bring in, who was Beachbody's speaker last time? Diana, oh no, that was 2 years ago. I'm forgetting. Teresa, do you know what? Simon Sinek, okay. Anyways, it doesn't even have to be Beachbody related. It can be anything related, somewhere where you're going to grow. So some kind of conference. Maybe your church is putting on a women's conference and you really want to go, but something's holding you back. Just sign up for it. Go for it. Put yourself in an environment where others are going to be leading you to better yourself, okay? So yeah, let's see. What else do they have putting down there? I don't know. I think that's about it. I know we're going to get kicked off here in a second, but I think just the big part of that was just take a hardcore look at your environment, your job, and ask yourself if all of those questions are asked. And if it's no to one of those, see if you can personally change that. You know, if you're not out of your comfort zone, is it because we're not encouraging you to be outside of your comfort zone, or is it because you're not actually doing it? You know, like take a little bit of a self-reflection, but hopefully you feel that the environment that you're in now is a growing environment. And if you feel like there's anything that you're lacking, go out and find something that can push you further. I don't know. I'll get off my high horse now. Does anybody have any questions before we get cut off? Sorry, I'm sick. I'm tired. Apologize for my tongue tiedness. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? I know I just give you one.
I had a quick question for Teresa. Is that how, did I say it right? Is it Teresa?
Yeah, go ahead. Teresa. It's fine.
Teresa. Okay. On the Crowdfire, when you go through and you search, do you add the people, or does it have them follow you? I was a little confused when you were saying that.
So there's a tab, and I can't remember exactly what it's called. I'll look when we get off, and then I'll put it on there. I think it says something. I think it says
copy followers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I personally, I'll go through and I know what accounts I follow, like where I kind of look for people to follow. So for example, there's a YouTube people that I follow called What's Up Moms, and I love them. I love their videos, and it's all about crazy mom life, whatever. So on Instagram, they have like a couple, I think, million followers. So I type in just the name of their account, which is What's Up Moms. And then I go through and I start following everybody who, you know, looks like a mom, not a spam account or something like that. So I know the name of the accounts that I want to serve